it's just working for someone else, and it wasn't our thing. I have a lot more hope for countries like Nigeria because
you would know that, hey, Nigeria's got it good. Nigeria's got it really good compared to some places. Hello everybody, welcome back to Familia Pablanu. I am the one and only Anu. Familia Pablanu. Today we will be talking about the hot topics, Q&As, all the hot topic questions that you guys have asked us. We have compiled them and we're going to be answering them. Let's dive in.
Mama Africa, your children are home! So for work, so I used to be a professor at university in the US. I actually taught Spanish and linguistics and things like that, pedagogy. And so, and Anu was in healthcare, but it's just working for someone else. And it wasn't our thing. So that's the whole reason why we wanted to change. It was a lifestyle change, and Africa in particular and other areas of the world, definitely offer that ability and a lot more flexibility to be able to, do business, be your own boss, do different things like that. And especially in the digital age, you don't have to be tied down. You can be pretty much anywhere as a digital nomad. And that's essentially, what we do in a way.
So our work in Nigeria, we have online products.
So we are content creators, obviously. We are filmmakers, if you've seen My Love from Another Land. And we are comedians as well. We do lots of skits, especially poking at social things that we absolutely love. And also, our lifestyle also involved a change in, getting a more healthy lifestyle. And so we've also created a course on that, which you can see the link in our bio.
We have our online course, Returning to the Roots of Wellness, that we are coaching people how to cook SOS-free meals and how, and recipes, meal plans and things like that. We have a course on that, if you can go check it out. We also have a movie, sort of like our investment that we did in Uganda, My Love from Another Land. Have you seen it? Go and watch it. That's our project. We also dab in entertainment. We do skits, we do shorts, we do content.
So there's a lot of things that we do, and it's primarily digital.
So we have a few of these revenues that we work on so that we get income coming. So that's what we're doing.
Then on the other side, just for self-sustainability, we're really focused on that. So we make sure that our economy is good. So we make sure we're using sustainable means like solar, we're getting our own rainwater, well water, stuff like that. Basically able to self-sustain, and food, right? So we're trying to grow as much as we can, not just because of pesticide issues, but also just to be self-sustaining, which also helps the bank, helps our economy in that sense.
On our downtime, then we grow our own crops, and so that we know that we have food on our table that is set. Because if you can remove food, if food is not a problem in a household, half of the problem is already solved. Food take a lot. It's a huge amount in someone's income, and we know that. And also food, about the quality of food. Do you know where the food is coming from? Is it laden with chemicals and all that stuff? So we grow our own crops so that we know exactly where our food is coming from.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we do. So we do tangible things, like I said, farming, etc., for ourselves, and maybe in the future selling things. We'll see.
And that's how we make our own ends meet. Yes.
Oh, and also raising our children and teaching them, educating them. That's also a big part of what we do, which also saves money, actually, as a side benefit. But yeah, being able to raise them, have time for them, that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest reason for leaving the rat race, was saying more time, I guess like most millennials, more time with our kids, more time as a family, and less time chasing money. And that's another thing, is we're not like big money people, Obviously we want to survive, we want to live well, I should say, not survive. We did that already, but to live well. And so that's definitely what we want, but we're not like a lavish lifestyle. I think we probably live a lot more frugally than a lot of Nigerians, for that matter. And even in this town, especially having 5 kids, yet we're able to manage very, very well just because of our lifestyle. And we're not super into expensive stuff and things like that. So, and we've always, learned to live frugally. So yeah, we don't need a lot to survive. And I think at some point we might talk about our economy, like show like, hey, this is our monthly expenses and things like that, to show just how little, you need to be able to live comfortably in a place like this. Okay, we do work a lot. Don't get me wrong, we are quite busy, but and when you are your own boss, you can kind of be a taskmaster. You kind of alternate between being a taskmaster on yourself, but just having that flexibility, to be able to face life and the changes and whatnot in life, that's fantastic to have. And that's not really doable if you have like a salary job. It's really inflexible, unfortunately. So anyways, we're always looking at different options, developing, following different leads, and seeing what we can do. But yeah, definitely digital products is kind of where we're going for the most part. Might do some ebooks, recipe books, stuff like that. We have, like I said, a couple of YouTube channels, which you can see in our bio as well, that we're working on. And it's just whatever passions we have, and whatever skills that we already have within us. We're like, hey, we can share these with the world and hopefully improve it in ways, and also maybe get some money to take care of ourselves. So that's great. So if we can do all those things together, even better. So long story short, we're our own bosses.
What about Nigeria's economy? So, people have been complaining about Nigeria's economy since I was a child, when kobo was a thing, when we would have, my mom would give us 250 kobos, making 1 naira, tied to the belt of my school uniform. And when lunchtime, we untie it, we use it to go and buy food. Back then, when kobo was still a thing, people have always been complaining about the economy. And I know the economy has been bad and been going inflation and this and that's been happening. And that's true, that's the reality. Yes, and I know the government has a lot of work to do to help with the situation at hand.
So people are always complaining about the economy in basically any African country.
But what I've also seen is that a lot of Nigerians who are resilient, who are doing life, who are doing it and having their businesses, having their day-to-day hustle, and they are doing great things here in Nigeria. And it just brings happiness to my soul to know that, hey, for example, we said that the economy is bad. Hey, if you've been to some other places, you would know that, hey, Nigeria's got it good. Nigeria's got it really good compared to some places, I
have a lot more hope for countries like Nigeria because their disparities and the issues that they face economically are imported. So most of them come from, colonial and post-colonial operations, that exploit their resources and stuff like that. And the systems here are not theirs, right? They were imposed in a lot of ways and still are. And so I have a lot more hope because as soon as Africans in general, colonized people in general around the world, but if we're talking about Nigeria, as soon as they stand their ground on anything, they win it back. You know what I mean? They win it back, it's theirs, and it improves, the economy improves the lives of the people. And again, the disparities were engineered not by the people here, they were engineered by the systems that were put in place by foreign powers. And are kept in place by foreign powers. So again, like for example, Dangote, building one of the largest refineries in the world, finally, really doing a good job of refining the crude oil here, which there was a lot of struggle because of outside forces with that too. But the fact that he's able to do it, manage it, suddenly the naira's, skyrocketing. A lot of things are going better, and that's what I'm saying. Like when they stand their ground, when they actually take back what is rightfully theirs. I mean, if Nigeria did that, if many of these countries in Africa did that, they would be the richest countries in the world and the most powerful countries in the world because of that. But they've been used for resources by everyone, and I mean everyone in the world. I don't think there's anywhere that did not take resources from Africa to build their countries. So yeah, I mean, I have much more hope because of that, because the systems of disparities and all these things, they're not homegrown and they're not from the people, put on the people. I have less hope for countries like, for example, the US or France or Britain, where the systems were built by the people to control the people. And it's like, those ones are almost impossible to break unless you have an entire destruction of the system, you know, like takeovers and stuff. Anyways, the point is, those things are very, very permanent. Versus the ones here, we see them being overturned all the time. You know, it just, sometimes all it takes is a mentality shift, and boom, oh, I don't have to be under this anymore. And boom, they're doing their own thing, and they're doing so much better because of it.
For example, from the US that we came from, our budget for our year expenses, living expenses, everything from A to Z, from the solar, being off grid, and living off grid, and thriving, and all that. Our 1 year budget is actually about a month or 2 month budget in the US, especially because we have a large family. So, and most of the budget goes to food, and then mortgage, and then your car payment, and this and that. Before you know it, you might as well be living on the street because you're in debt. But here, for me, I can say that if you have a roof over your head, you have a place to sleep, you have a little business on the side, you have a garden, you can grow your own crops, you know where your food is coming from, you're able to impart knowledge into your children and give them good values for their future, you are doing great in my book. And that is all what life should be about. The simplicity. It's not about flexing, about I got this big house, big car, impressing people that you don't even know with money that you don't even have. So the simplicity, you can live a very good, decent life here, even despite the economy being fluctuating up and down. So, simplicity is bliss, you know.
So yeah, I have much, much more hope in the future, and we're already seeing results from things in Nigeria. And Nigeria is the giant of Africa. I mean, like I said, it's got, over 250 million people. It's scheduled to overtake the US in population not too long from now, and then even possibly China in the future if things keep going the way they're going. So I mean, no, it's booming. So they don't even have to worry about exports if they don't want to, you know, like you can. It's possible, it would be slow, but it's possible to turn things around and have a consumer economy if they wanted such a thing. I hope they don't, just like the US does, for example, and not really need to, you know, export so much and things like that. I mean, I'm not an economist by any means, but I would say that Nigeria has a lot, not just resources, it's got people, it's got a workforce, cheap labor, because of the number of people and things like that. And it's booming. It's really booming in a lot of ways. So, and yeah, the opportunities are here. I mean, those that have stayed here, not the ones that Japada, but the ones that stayed here, they're like, yeah, you put a little bit of effort, a little bit of money, and boom, you have a successful thing going. You know what I mean? And it's so easy to register businesses here and start up things. I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want in a lot of ways. And yeah, I mean, I think there's many more opportunities here than there are in many of the developed countries, you know. And I think that might be the case in many developing countries, actually. But obviously we know more about Nigeria.
So for that, when you say Nigeria economy is this, is that, and I'm saying like yes, it's true, but there is still even in this situation, I will still find my own to do. Or guys, can you translate that? I don't know how to translate it. I will still be able to do my own. I will still be able to make it. I'll be able to make it. I think that's because this is a country of 240 million people, and no matter how much reps we are getting in the media, people are still doing great things here in Nigeria. So thumbs up to all the beautiful Nigerians who are making a difference every single day in Nigeria. Yeah. Keep following our channel, keep following our story. We will be sharing all our adventures here with you guys. And don't forget to like, share, and leave questions, and we can do another Q&A once we gather all these questions up together. Tell your sisters, your brother, all your relative about Familia Pablanu. Also, don't forget about our Familia Pablanu productions. Go and see our film, My Love from Another Land. Go and see our skits and comedy shorts and all of that on that platform.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you in our next vlog, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Familia Pablanu. But until next time, we say Odabo.
Odabo, adios.